right, well, it's d4. Knight f3. e3, of course. a6. So again, I've noticed a lot of people playing bishop b4. Especially after I see this move, I feel that I can also kind of throw that move in. I feel like I have time for it, you know? Hard to really tell which one is correct. I'll go here. Okay, interesting. So against this move, I'm not sure how I'm going to react to it. One thing I know for sure is I don't want to play there. So maybe I can try a4. It's kind of a weird move, but I'm thinking that maybe if he pushes, we could get this square for our bishop, and like the knight won't have b4 anymore. And we're gonna kind of go like this. I play queen e2, right, to stop bishop a6. It's not even like bishop a6 is a very big deal, but it's just, I think that he might want to do it. And oh my. Guys, why does this always happen? I mean, you've got to be kidding me. How many times does this happen in this series? It's a joke. It's a joke. Like, what? This is the freest ELO. It's just waiting for you to take it. It's just waiting for you to take it. Go out there, young scavengers, and grab that ELO before it's gone. Oh my goodness, the disconnect. I mean, bro. It's that easy. It's really that easy. Guys, you can't even make up how many times this has happened. Anyone who's been here and really watched the series with us knows that this has, not exaggerating, been something that's happened 50% of the games. You just win a piece in the center. And it's because of the chessbrah TikToks. Bro didn't see the bishop, literally. All right, d4, we know this much. Okay, now again with this one, I've been thinking a little bit more like a3. Are we playing the same system? Hang on a sec. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, hang on a sec, guys. He came with the knight here. Huge error by Hutchie. Oh no. Huge error by Hutchie. Setting himself up for an unfortunate situation. He can't bring his knight in, he can't bring his knight there, and he can't play e5. This is the dream dream position for us. So it looks tempting to go bishop here, but actually that would prompt him to take, and then yeah, our pin's not really going anywhere. So I think we actually want to just anchor this this knight in like that. Goes like this. Yeah, queen e2, queen f3. Probably one of these. Bishop b5 now. It's not that bad of an idea. I like queen e2 or queen f3 though. One of those two moves. Or, yeah, they both look good. Let's go queen f3. More control of that. Okay, the knight goes back. Well, if he plays f6, he's going to lose some material, so we're never too scared about that. I find myself intrigued by this move because it looks like it is I don't know. It's like very unlikely that he would play this move, but you know, he might get there. It's definitely, oh, okay. He's just gonna, yeah. Well, this one I will credit to the opening, because this is just, the opening is so strong that we're sitting here and the knight on e5 is causing such a problem. He can't take it. It's a big issue. Okay, well, queen e2 is an obvious move. I think he will play knight b8, but queen e2 is obvious because, yeah, we want to improve our knight, and the chance to end the game immediately is just, you know, too much to resist. So it's definitely not a bad move, and the upside is very, very high, so have to go for it. Can throw this check in just to see what he's up to. Is he going to be running the king? He should, definitely. Okay, he decides to take. Now I'm thinking, like, is this just is that really the best thing to do? I mean, he's coming with this. Is it c4? I'm not really sure. I kind of want to play knight here, but you know, maybe this pawn is a little bit loose. Well, let's go c4 and see what happens. Okay, he takes. Yeah, knight takes, pawn takes. It's kind of hard to say, because knight takes is great because then we take the bishop, but pawn takes has a little bit of an idea to play c5, which I don't know. It's one of those moves that I feel like has to be decent. Yeah, so he takes like this, and he opens up the bishop on the rook. Now, he can take all of this, but I mean, that's a lot of material. We're already up quite a bit here. So I feel that this has to be sufficient. Let's come in with the knight. He's only got 2 pieces left. There's really no way that this could possibly hold. And okay, and it goes there. Let's bring the knight in. Couple decent ideas. Check. We'll take here. GG to Hutchie. Nice game. I actually thought he was playing our opening, but hopefully we were all able to see the crucial difference here. His position would have been, well, we know it would have been good because it's our position if he had just played this. But he played this, and hopefully we can all see major difference. Knight b4 can't be played, so there's just no point. It's also blocking the bishop. It's also blocking the pawn. Like, it's just in the way. And because it blocks the bishop, this knight can't use that square anymore. So we play knight d2, and all of a sudden, this doesn't exist, that doesn't exist, that doesn't exist. So it doesn't look like a huge mistake, but I think this move actually shifted the opening completely. Imagine he did this one, and then maybe knight e4, and then f5, you know? Like, if he was equipped with the ideas that we are equipped with, much different story. But we're able to get the knight in, and it's so much pressure here, supported by the bishop, and knowing that the f-pawn is coming next. A lot of times we've seen people just blunder a piece. If they don't blunder a piece, they're still giving up their bishop, and we're still coming in with the f-pawn after. So we all remember, number one thing you do not want your opponent to do is play e5. That just absolutely kills you. After that, if you can control knight b4 and knight e4, that's just a bonus. So in this case, we were able to do all 3, and when you do all 3 of those things, you always have a good position. It's like basically never failed so far. See Stockholmian. And yes, massive similarities between the stone wall and this opening, the Colle Zukertort, because when you put the knight in, you follow up with f4, you can see clear similarities. And you could even say, like, hang on a sec, this almost makes more sense than the stone wall, because in the stone wall, yes, your center is more secure, but your bishop on c1 sucks. And at least here, you're trying to get a stone wall with a bishop that doesn't suck. that's basically the idea. All the pieces are placed the exact same as the stone wall. The main difference is you don't have a pawn on c3. The c3 pawn covers b4. So instead of one move, pawn c3, we have 3 moves. b3, bishop b2, and then also a3 to still cover this important square. So yes, we spend many more moves than the stone wall at the beginning, but objectively our position, like long term, is better because we actually have a thriving piece on b2 and not just a bad bishop on c1. So, you know, the plus minuses for both. The stone wall obviously gets the attack going quicker because, as I said, you don't have to spend 3 moves over here. But you still get the same type of attack with this, but you're set up better for a long term, like a real, actual solid position. So I can definitely see a rationale for both. All right, d4, follow with the knight. A lot of people sort of like pre-moving this. Okay, when I see this type of opening, I see there's no pawn moving up to c5. It already tells me when I see that my opponent, you know, pretty much has to be going for something like this, right? Well, we're gonna do pretty much the same thing. And we're definitely not gonna be tempted to take it because we know damn well what happens when you take it. I know better than anyone. Can't fool me. Now, we definitely want to kick this knight out, but I'm thinking about supporting my knight here in the center first before I do that. So we can either go here or we could take and then go here. Either way, the goal is obvious. So I think this makes sense. I think f3 has to be a reasonable move now. Now, because we see this, and there's not really any like tension in the center, I'm much more interested in a move like c4 in general, because, well, if I don't play moves like that, I'm not really gonna have anything to do at all. So I play this for intrigue. Queen there, still not possible to take. So I think moving the queen makes sense here. I mean, sorry, he can take, of course, but he's not winning a pawn. Now, for example, after the knight's there, he's going to be winning a pawn. So I think now it would make sense to take. But now, because the knight's not on e4, I feel a little bit more empowered to play pawn to f4. And pawn to g4, king h1, rook g1. All of a sudden, who's attacking who here? So check this out. He's coming with the knight into d6 and into e4. I can guarantee that. What I'm thinking is that when the knight goes here, we're going to play bishop a3 and take it. So I'm going to go straight for the move g4. See how he handles it. Okay, he's going to take. I think it makes sense to just grab this. Okay, he takes there. Almost certainly going to use the f pawn. There is bishop g5. That's just the truth. Bishop g5 has to happen, you'd think. Yeah, and now there's like some tactics involving this, and this. I'm probably going to start by taking this one. And yeah, I mean, this is here. It's hard to say what the absolute smartest thing to do is. I think it might be taking here and giving this up and just saying like, okay, how are you going to deal with like rook here, bishop here? Mainly because I don't want the king tucking itself back away. So he goes here. I guess a rook check can only make sense. This one probably, yeah, seems right. Definitely looking at a potential check here. Okay, well, there's many things to do, but bishop e7 just to take the queen seems like definitely at least a smart thing to do. Give like a check. Is it possible to generate a mate here? We'll just give him a couple checks. Okay, it's gonna be close. I think we have a pretty good shot though with this idea, bishop e4. Yeah, this looks pretty convincing. GG. Just had to hunt that king down. Once again, the attack seems pretty nasty. I mean, not easy to deal with. So I like that we finally got to play against the stone wall, because I think right around here, it's fair to say that a lot of us would be like, whoa, hang on a sec. I don't know how I feel about this system here. Because this guy's getting the knight into e4. I don't feel like I have anything in response. Okay, first things first, there's no knight here, so I don't need to waste my time playing that move. Like, I'm already castled, there's no bishop check, there's no knight coming. If he played knight here, I might play that. But we're also never going to take. We know that. And we know that this is our move. I would say this is the only moment that, you know, playing knight f3 maybe might not be the most obvious. We definitely want to kick the knight out. And then I do think, yeah, just pieces are all on their usual squares. c4 is slightly different. And then when the knight goes back here, our plan is always f4. I was just holding off because I didn't want the knight to just return. So when the knight goes here, I like it a lot more because now it can't just go right back. So he's getting ready to play this, but it's too late. At this point, I'm attacking. I've got a couple pawns hitting the center. This is not easy. We're going to slide our king, use the g file, and as you can see, we get a massive attack going here, and that's the problem with the knight in the middle. Either he takes it, and then I take it back, and his pieces get pushed around, attack is even stronger, or he doesn't take it, and look how annoying this knight is. I mean, it's an incredibly strong piece. So you can see how it transforms into stonewall adjacent type of positions. We get d4, and yes, the London, I think something we've seen many a time before, and we've been holding off on capturing that, that's for sure. Early h4 is, again, we're not that worried about that. Okay, so he jumps in with knight. Immediately I have a couple thoughts. First one is, I mean, we're obviously not going to sit here and play knight takes. My first thought is, well, maybe we get our knight in and try to kick his knight out. That's the definite first thing I'm thinking. You might be thinking about this move. I would just be very careful. Your bishop needs a bit of support in that case. So for example, if you did this, knight takes f7, and you already fall victim to a little bit of a trap, let's say. So I'm gonna go with a6. Kind of concerned about maybe like a bishop b5 move here, especially because I'm holding off on castling. If I wasn't holding off on castling, it would make a little bit more sense. I feel like queen c2 could happen, so just want to make sure that, okay, let's take. Make sure that he can't play e4 on me. And in this position, yeah, I'm kind of happy that bishop b5 can't be played. Now, if f6, queen h5, hopefully we're not falling into this. I think we can take here. I'm also looking at queen e7, maybe to try and facilitate a move like f6. And try to take this. And our opponent's not castling either. It's clear that, you know, short castle is not occurring. That's obvious. Ooh, knight c4. Interesting move because it looks initially bad, but then, you know, e3. I mean, maybe the guy's gonna castle. I feel like we have to give him that privilege, though. You know, if he's gonna swag on us like that, you know, do your thing, man. Do your thing. That's a swaggy move, you know. Rook's attacked, and you're gonna castle out of it. Respect, respect. This is definitely one of those bishop moments, but he handles it with grace. It's time to put this king somewhere. Honestly, neither side looks safe, but I know that he's probably gonna castle this way, so I would say that this is probably safer, just barely. And yes, he did see it. That's impressive. Get out of the way here. Hopefully we have a Bobby Fischer guy ready to take our pawn. The king sliding over to b8 looks important. h5. Well, our king is definitely nice and safe. Take an open file or something. Shuffle these pieces around like this. I'm definitely aware that this move is going to happen. It's like almost a guarantee. All right, well, let's try f5. We're going to allow this, but maybe an option to take as well. We'll give to get here. Hopefully my square is more useful than his. I also like king a7 because I feel like this bishop's going to need to move soon, and guarding that pawn feels necessary. So let's do that. Could be like a bishop move here. Gotta be mildly careful, don't we? Hold on. Bishop here, I was thinking takes. He could be trying queen takes d8, knight c6. Okay. No. We gotta watch out. We gotta watch out. I could see it lingering there. Queen d8, knight c6. I wouldn't put it past the guy. Discard with this one. His pawns are on dark squares. We have a real gamer here. Light squared bishops, dark squared pawns, you know, never ideal. Take with the knight for sure, just because it's more likely. Like if I take with the bishop, I reveal that the bishop's there, you know what I mean? But if we take with the knight, then he's gonna think, well, it just lost the exchange. Oh man, that bishop just made a absolute killing on the diagonal here. The sniper bishop made a career. We collected all his pawns. What can you do? What can you do? GG. Boy, did our opponent play well. It's kind of a shame the way it ended, because I feel like, you know, everything was very sensible. And then just here, kind of lost the plot a little bit. And then like one blunder turned into a huge blunder, bigger blunder, bigger blunder. So the game just kind of ended all at once. As for our position, we never really got a great look at it, but we did get a London played in a way where, you know, we just had to make sure to put that knight in the center so that e4 doesn't happen. Never really liked e4. And important to make sure that you don't really play f6 in general before you're castled. And I don't think in this series you've really seen me do that. As white, for example, I've always been castled when I've talked about kicking out a knight in the center. Same thing here. I was delaying it because, like, what the hell? Guy's looking real lethal with an h-pawn there. I don't want to castle into that. But it means you also should probably not play that move. All right, we'll go with d4. Kind of see what opening our opponent is going to play. Okay, double fianchetto, so not too threatening to our setup, but what it does mean is that I was going to say our opponent's probably going for something like this, and you guys have seen we don't just set up the pieces the exact same way. If you played d5, we would probably go back to that, but in this one, yeah, we want our pieces a little bit more like this. Castle, queen, rook to the middle, yeah. It's a unusual move. I wonder why he felt the need to give up that piece. It's kind of strange. Like, yeah, we have the bishop for nothing here. That's what it feels like. Castle, I guess. Rook to e1. Now, it does feel like this one is the move, but I think we have a very nice knight b5 reaction. So let's make some space for the bishop, and interesting, knight there. Make a threat. I think if the knight goes there, we could actually take it. Meanwhile, let's bring our other rook into the middle. Knight b5, the queen can go to d7. I think we're still going to do it, though. And play d5 and knight back. I guess. Get a nice square for our knight in the middle here. We can hop into c6. That feels kind of smart. But yeah, just note, anytime you see like a fianchetto here with d6, let alone a double fianchetto, your setup's probably going to be more like this. You just can't go for the usual things. There's just nothing happening. Nothing happening there. Okay, well, we know what the opponent's doing. I really like this move here. It looks like I'm doubling here, but while his knight shows up on c5 or b4, I think we actually want to double here on e3. Also, if this knight moves, we may have bishop g4. He makes a very expected move there. Gonna play this because it also gets away from wherever this knight is about to jump. We have knight c6 here. It feels like we have a lot of pressure because knight c6 is gonna unleash the bishop on this knight. Very easy to miss the bishop, as we know. For example, here. But we can just see that every piece we have is working. Like, clearly, we're all working towards a common goal. Unleash the bishop from b2 here. And yeah, he's just gonna, unfortunately, completely miss this, which is what we expected. This is supported as well. We can take here. I was gonna say we can take here, but not quite. I think we want to move this. May just slot this bishop in on d5. It's looking pretty good there. Queen takes f7, king there. There might be a win, but bishop takes and taking the rook seems like the easy way out. All you need to remember is when your opponent's setting up something like this, I don't like the pieces here, I like them here. And we know that we don't like knight c3 without the pawn in front, so almost every single time it's going to be a setup like this. That's just how it is. I didn't really understand bishop takes knight. That seemed unnecessary, but yeah, it meant that we were able to use the two bishops pretty nicely, triple up, and yeah, this is like a dream chess position. We just have a great pawn structure, more space, two bishops, both of them doing a lot, pressure on one weakness, even a tactic here, safe king, just doesn't get better than that. Okay, we see b3, which actually means we might have a better chance than usual to, you know, get something like our setup happening here. Knight here, a6, I think is important. a6 in general should be fairly important. Okay, he's definitely doing some funny stuff here. I guess he has some ideas. But yeah, we're we're gonna have to do something unusual here, I feel. Going after this bishop feels correct. Also, he doesn't have anything in the center, so c5 feels correct. I'm gonna castle here. But yeah, no doubt this is a bit of an unorthodox way to play so far. Knight there. We certainly want to take, and then like rook e8, c5, d4, all that stuff. Knight back to e2. I guess d4. This should be a problem. Okay, we'll go ahead and take this. Don't let it happen again, my friend. I've already taken one of your pieces. Maybe a trade for my good friend here. Let's go here. Trades. He's not having it. That move makes sense. We can offer him yet another trade, but I feel like at this point, it's almost like bishop here is the best way to get a trade. Be careful. Now there's a pin here. You thought I was just trading with you. Hehehe. I was setting something up. It's too much pressure. I think this is the only move, and it does two things at once, but yeah, he's just sort of set himself up in a spot that I don't think you can come back from now. Queen e6 after queen f3. Oh, now you want to trade. No. I don't want to trade. Get out of here. Kidding me? Disrespect me this whole time? Now you want to trade all of a sudden? I won't tolerate that. I won't tolerate that. No, when I offer trades, you trade. Can't have any of this. Mika, welcome to the series. You probably haven't seen the series too much, because anytime there's a trade, we always take with the pawn. So it's not a discussion every single time. I don't want to take with the knight because then I lose the center. I have no control over the center. In general, you don't want pieces in the center of the board if your opponent can still push pawns there, because they'll just get booted away. It's a very temporary feeling. You think you have a good knight, but like it's just going to get kicked out. You want to have pawns in the center so that you can put your pieces in the center around them or supported by them. But you don't want to just put pieces in the center with no pawns there. So yeah, definitely want to take with the pawn. Now on top of that, the knight would be maybe wrong for other reasons, but yeah, in this specific series, we always take with the pawn here. Okay, what we got here? I'm gonna go d4. Usually starting with these moves, and again, instead of that b3, I'm looking at a3 first. Get our bishop out. We've sort of got the moves we want. Of course, only makes sense for black to go like that. This is covered. This is covered. This looks covered. And so he decides to go for something else. Knight f5. Well, yeah, I'm definitely not tempted to take it, but just kind of observing. Could get our knight in, perhaps. Queen e2. All the above. All the above. Yeah, our knight's definitely going to make an appearance on this square, though. I think we all know that. I'm definitely holding off on taking. This bishop is just too valuable. probably going to follow up with f5. So he does take. We have options on how to take back, and I think it's a real choice here because we can take with the queen, remove the queen, and just do it all over again with the other knight, and then play f4. Or we could take here and say, like, okay, we're starting to really open up this bishop. Not really sure which one makes more sense, but this feels like it gets things going the quickest. And wow, okay, I could never have expected this move. This definitely hands me some material. So if we take with the queen, the rook's gonna move, and you know, if we play g4 to kick that knight, there's gonna be a bishop move that means I don't just like win the game or anything like that. So for that reason, I think I'm gonna take this way. Rook d1 maybe. Okay, queen g5. I'm definitely thinking about this one. Seems to make some sense. Yeah, hard to say. Undeveloping the bishop, but could actually be very smart. I don't know. Queen's got to go somewhere. Queen here. Maybe this. I feel like the queen's going to end up back on e7. It's a square that makes the most sense. Maybe we can stop this move. I don't know if that's actually good or not. So knight here, we'll play queen f4. This is covered. I can see the vision here. I can see the vision. I wonder if this actually works. We'll have to just go here and put the bishop back. Just makes too much sense. Kind of need to do that. I guess h3 could be useful. He's got a little bit of trouble moving that bishop, at least to somewhere useful. Keep pushing. Seems like it could be valuable. Maybe connect the pawns like that. This is a move I'm going to play even in the face of this, just to do that. I guess we'll take queen's covering, which is fortunate but deserved. Just had to be careful of that one. Escape square. I think I actually want the pawn ASAP here. Like I want to have that threat, you know? Snorking up here. Satisfying. Threatening mate. Far better than actually delivering it. I mean, we all know if you play rook e5 and you mouse slip, good lord, you don't want to be that person. What happened this one? Oh yeah, this was a pretty good opening. And yeah, we got our knight in and we just won a pawn in the middle. So, well, that was incredibly helpful. Yeah, this is exactly how I would say you want the opening to look. Knight on c6, bishop on d3, and notice how sheltered this bishop is. It's not subject to this, none of this, none of this. Even if b6, a5 happens to trade it, queen e2, and he's just wasting so much time to try to make it happen. And then in the meantime, you're castling and you're getting your knight in. So, looks pretty solid. All right. d4, knight out. Then the pawn, we sort of like have the framework here. We know that our bishop wants to go here. c5, definitely the most, like, I would say the most annoying move in terms of our move order, because in this one, I think I will play b3 first. It feels a little bit strange to play a3 first, and what do you know? The guy's coming in with bishop here. I guess the most natural move is this knight to d2, then this bishop out. Like, I guess that makes sense, but this is what I mean by playing b3. It's like all these guys play this move, and yes, we can play bishop d2. You guys play knight d2, but you know, you're just once in a while gonna get in these positions that you wish you didn't have to deal with. And it's more so because it just doesn't let me set up the thing that we want. That's what's annoying here. Because we should, yeah, in general, we shouldn't be in any big trouble. Queen g5. Boy, I'd love to castle. Something tells me it's still possible, but we're just gonna have to play g3 here. And again, I feel like we're back to that same thing where it's like my opponent's position isn't good, but it definitely stops us from doing a few of our normal things here. So in terms of showcasing the precise position, yes, this is not quite it, but our position is very, very good. That's for sure. Knight here. Okay, well, I don't think we just need to play a3. Like, we're playing a different game now, right? We're in the end game. Knight b4 still looks a little bit bothersome. Still trying to figure out what we want to do here. And there is like a bishop a6 move that I want to keep in mind. Okay, we'll do this for now. I feel that there needs to be some pawn expansion on this side of the board. Feels like that's where the action is. No, just push them all up the board. That looks fine. Okay, I feel that this should be pretty good. First of all, I might try this. That looks like an annoying pin to maybe deal with. And I'm actually trying to get here. I know it's a long road ahead. So I'm going to let him play this move because it actually helps me get to where I want to go. This one we can stop on the c5 square, I think. And yeah, doubling the rooks, taking here. Taking here next makes sense, even if he takes that way. He doesn't have rook e7, so that pawn is pretty hard to defend. And even covering this square means there's going to be real checkmating threats on the h-file. This is the power of pushing pawns and having the bishops. Look at these things. Look at this. very hard to recommend a move, and despite it being difficult to recommend a move, our opponent has come up with one. Great stuff. Okay, definitely this. Because now we get some pieces in there. Yeesh. Bit of a different game there. Our opponent played in a certain way early, but dude, this is what I keep saying about this move c5. It's like b3 makes sense, and then a lot of people play this bishop move, and it can just be so annoying. So that's why you see me start with the move a3 first. So a3 first here, definitely possible, but I think when you play some stronger players, this might be a little bit too much in the opening. I haven't really thought everything through. It's maybe still possible to work because we do get this just in time, so I might start doing that because b3 bishop b4, like I'm tired. But something tells me the move e5 can happen quicker than we think here. Although I like this threat. That's a good one. It kind of stops queen c7, which I was initially going to be annoyed by. So maybe it is just a3. I really feel that if you get hit with this one, more bad things are going to happen than good, right? Because if you play bishop here, number one, the guy could not trade with you, and then you're like, well, fuck. You know, that's annoying already. If you play knight here, which is what I did, I mean, you could get hit with this, and it's just like, well, you might play this, but like you fianchettoed rook. Like, none of this makes sense. And then knight here makes also no sense because you're literally moving the piece the wrong way. So it's definitely an annoying one. And bishop d3 is totally fine, but I don't like allowing c4. So this move does allow c4. No one should play this. It's not a good move, but it does kind of prevent our stuff. However, after b3 here, I think he would probably be forced to take because b5, there's no way this works. Yeah, this looks really bad. So maybe I would still consider playing a3 early. Okay. We get a d4. Let's go d5. Hey, based on this opening, I'm like, is it possible we either have a Wonstall enjoyer or we have an hour opening enjoyer, right? So you see, our opponent has actually stopped us from playing knight e4. So it's not an option. It can't go there. I guess I might play c5 just because I'm like, well, dude, if I can't go to e4, let me make it happen. And you know how crafty my opponent is here, unintentionally maybe. I can't even play this because it's pinned. Damn. Guy got me good here. Do we go here, or do we just take our opportunity because we'll never get it again to put knight e4 in there? I think we have to. Knight e4 makes sense though. This is very much not again, brother. And they always pause. And how does this always happen? How does it always happen? I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just putting the knight there. They're sitting there. They're not insta-moving. I don't know how we're winning queens every single game in the center of the board. It's unreal. It's just unreal. Yeah. This is a me thing, of course. No way you could possibly replicate this. Yeah. It only happens to me. I'm the only one on the website that it happens to. A little cheeky capture. This is we got the h6. I mean, at this point, it is just smooth sailing. How does it happen every time? And we take the win there. And guess what? We take it the exact way you would expect in this series by winning not just a piece, guys, a queen in the middle of the board. And this is after I sat here 2 minutes 28 to 2 minutes. 28 seconds I sat here. I played this. He took, and then he spent 3 seconds. He really looked at the position. He said, queen takes e4. Yes. Yes to this move. I don't know. You'd think that we would never see this happen again, but we're pretty much at 1200 and we're seeing it all the time still. Thank you for making it to the end of another episode of the Colle Zukertort speedrun. It's definitely one of the easiest attacking weapons to learn in chess, so I hope that this series is making it easier to understand. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and turn on post notifications so you do not miss our next episode.